call to order the Monday, September 15th, 2025 meeting of the Wilson School Board. Roll call, please.
Mr. Case,
Here.
Mrs. Denny,
Here.
Mr. Hart,
Here.
Mrs. Casper,
Here.
Dr. Kennedy,
Here.
Mr. McCray,
Here.
Mr. McCree,
Here.
Mr. Schneider,
Here.
Mrs. Cocker.
Here.
9 present, 0 absent.
Please stand for the posting of the colors by our JROTC. A big thanks to our JROTC. We missed having them over our summer for our meetings. We have a communication piece tonight on our summer educational experience in Spain. So this summer, a group of Wilson High School students participated in an educational program in Spain. This evening, several of those students will share their experiences and insights gained through this opportunity. So come on up.
Hello, I'm Mr. Hall. I had the opportunity to take 10 students from Wilson to Spain, along with Miss Eshelman, who had a prior commitment, couldn't make it tonight. I want to thank the board for the opportunity for approving the trip. You're going to hear from a few students now. First, you're going to hear from Emily Tippin and Catalina Casper, and they'll be followed by TJ Kim.
Hello, my name is Catalina Casper.
And I'm Emily Tippin, and we are both currently 11th graders in Spanish 4, and this summer we studied at the University of Salamanca in Spain.
During our stay there, we experienced a cultural shock, having to transition to speaking only Spanish. This immediately began when we met our host family and moved into our homestays. In spite of the challenge, it forced us to use everything we learned in our Spanish classes and provided us with the numerous communication opportunities outside of the classroom during our trip. For example, anytime we had to go out, we had to order our food in Spanish.
Monday through Friday, we would walk to the International University where all the exchange students learned. We would have 3 classes from 9 to 1 broken into culture, like language, and grammar.
Can I go to the next slide? Okay. The trip gave us many memorable moments, such as learning how to make tortilla de patatas in our cooking class, learning el baile de flamenco, and touring el Catedral de Salamanca. However, the most memorable thing for us wasn't something scheduled in our tour group, but instead going to local parks and interacting with the neighborhood children.
We are both beyond grateful for the school board for providing us with this experience, and we hope that many future Wilson students get to have the same experience. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good evening. My name is TJ Kim. I'm an 11th grade student here at Wilson High School, and today I'm going to share some of my favorite memories along with knowledge I gained from a trip to Spain. Our day started off with walking to attend our daily courses at Universidad de Salamanca. With this opportunity, we were able to dive deeper into culture, conversation, and history while actively using our knowledge of Spanish to ask questions and work on our grammar. After class, we would break for siesta. With siesta, I experienced a cultural shock where restaurants, stores, and any stands would temporarily close at around 2 p.m. to reopen later at 5 p.m. Thankfully, we never had to worry about missing out on trying new foods because our amazing host families always had a home-cooked lunch waiting for us after school. After lunch, if we were feeling up to it, Emily, Kat, and I would meet up at a local park that we nicknamed Fountain Park due to the colorful fountain display in the heart of the park. Most days, however, I would take advantage of this opportunity to nap and rest up before the daily activities scheduled with the whole group. Now, these activities consisted of a wide range of experiences, whether it be art museums to automobile museums, cathedrals to nunneries, and even the old university to paddle boating. We never had a boring day. One of my favorite activities, which I'll remember for the rest of my life, was the cooking class we took. In this class, the group was split up to cook different dishes. I was able to put my culinary skills to use and cook up my very own tortilla de patata. At the end of the session, we all came together and shared a great meal where we tried all of the said dishes, but the main reason I'll never forget this activity was due to the fact which I would never thought I would ever say in my life, tried bull testicles. That is something I would not be partaking in if I stayed in the States. Now, after all of these daily activities, we had the freedom of being able to explore Salamanca on our own terms. Ending at around 6 p.m. every day, we were set up at the perfect time where siesta would end and all businesses and restaurants would reopen. Despite having unlimited restaurants to eat at, our group would always end up at one of 3 locations, Pomodoros, Gino's, and Grainer's. At each of these 3 restaurants, we had our own regular orders. Mine consisted of gnocchi with carbonara and a side of pan de ajo from Pomodoros, spaghetti with carbonara from Gino's, and 5 for €2 fortons from Grainer's. Then we would end the day likely at a park where we became friends with many of the locals. Despite having a language barrier and knowing only a few words, we still all bonded over common things such as soccer or ice cream. Even just playing with the park equipment was something we could all enjoy. I would like to share 2 memories that a friend Chase had since he is currently competing in a golf tournament and could not attend tonight. The first memory he shared with me was how he got along with his host parents and their children while he stayed during the homestay. Despite having a language barrier, the little kids and Chase worked together and problem solved through their very own English homework from their school. Being able to work through the language barrier also plays a role in the second memory, which was how he became friends with 3 locals named Joseph, Elias, and Bruno. He stated that playing soccer and becoming friends with people despite not being fluent was another great example of the culture in Spain. To conclude my speech, I would like to give my thanks to everyone who is involved in making this trip possible, to the school board for approving and putting everything into motion, and a huge thanks to Senior Ol and Senorita Eshelman for everything they have done to prepare and make sure everything goes as planned no matter what. Gracias.
Would we be able to ask you guys a couple questions before you, or do you have to go somewhere?
Oh, you can,
Okay, all right. I didn't know, maybe you had something to get to. Okay. So we have class trips traditionally, like to Spain and France for languages, but this is different, right? This was an immersion experience where you actually stayed with host families. So how long were you there with the host family?
Overall, our trip was 16 days, and with the host family, we were there for 13 days. And while they would have provided meals for us there for the whole trip, we mainly went out for dinner with friends and such, but we ate lunch every day at our host family's house.
Because I'm sure that had a big impact, like being in the home with that's what they're speaking all day. Like it's a much different experience than the other trips were more like sightseeing and more, cultural, but this is, you were living there. So thank you for sharing that with everybody. Any other comments or questions from the board?
I just have to add, I know that Kat and Emily's walk from their homestay to the campus every day was like a 45-minute walk. And it was like 90-some degree weather every day. So I'm surprised you didn't say anything about that. But I think a lot of the culture shock was just like the everyday stuff that we kind of take for granted here in the United States, especially around the language and getting to know your host family and their customs. And Salamanca is a town that isn't very touristy, so it has a lot of the elements of the culture that you can explore, and I know that was evident in a lot of the pictures that you shared with us. So that was wonderful, and I know the teachers really helped to make that very applicable to what they're doing in their classes as well. So I really appreciate the teachers being there with them, which is a very different experience than just going and going abroad. Where you have this complete immersion into the culture and the language.
Can I add just a quick point too? One of the things brought up before we left by the board, I know in one of the... I thought my voice was loud enough, I apologize. So one of the things brought up prior to us going was the safety of the students, because where they took classes and where a lot of them or most of them stayed was on the opposite side of Salamanca. And so there was a lot of concern about safety and security with students walking on their own. So I'm going to ask the students to just say a few words about that, how they felt walking in the city.
Sorry. I do have to say, walking to classes was one of my favorite things. It's very different from here, and it could be 8 in the morning or 10 at night, and you would feel safe. Like, there are little kids running around everywhere, families, you see teenagers shopping by themselves. So it was very different, but it was also quite refreshing to be able to see, like, oh, this is their normal life. Like, we could never do this here in the United States. So personally, I loved the walking. Did it hurt my feet? Yes. But do my calves look great? Yes.
A quick question for Mr. Hall. How do we find the host families? Do you build that relationship, or is there a program?
Yeah, so the company that we traveled through has people that host students. They're known to host students, so the company went through and did a vetting process on host families. A lot of the families are repeats, like they've hosted students in the past, and then any newer people are usually what I was like friends of those families or other people that show an interest in wanting to host students from another country.
Great, thank you. Sounds like a great program.
And I think the other real major benefit is that they're getting the credits for it towards college. So I know Kat is finishing up a class that ends in December where she'll get the credits from George Mason University. So it's a wonderful, just a mix of things that students are able to take advantage of and have the opportunity to do that you can't do a lot in just one, going abroad, one trip abroad. So yeah, I love that you were able to kind of mix all of that in along with the university credits.
Yeah, that was a big draw for us. I know Ramon and I were talking about we wanted something more than just a touristy visit. And so that was a big draw for us that this program offered the opportunity for students to get college credit for their trip.
Gracias a todos por venir aquí esta noche para hablar de su viaje a España. I am a huge proponent of world languages and the importance of studying it in school. I used to speak Spanish much better than I just did. Thank you. Gracias. My love of languages started here at Wilson, much like yours. When I went to school, we started languages in 7th grade, and I started with French, and I loved it. So the next year I picked up Spanish as well, and I loved it. And the next year I picked up German as well, and I studied that. Ich spreche nicht sehr gut Deutsch. I can't even say that. I realized my gift was Romance languages, not Germanic. But they were my favorite classes because the teachers, foreign languages teachers are a little zany in a wonderful way. And you learn so much. And so then when I went to college, I minored in French, and that's when I got to go abroad. You as high school students have already had the opportunity, we went it for a week when I was in Wilson, but to actually do an immersion program, you're going to go into college with experiences that most of the kids you go to college with will not have had. Having lived abroad, having lived with a family, having taken public transportation, having to order food, things like that, which is going to make you a better adult, a better citizen. And so I know I'm largely preaching to the choir, but I want to encourage you to follow your language studies as you go ahead, as you go to college. I did a summer, but my college really emphasized studying abroad. About 75% of our students went someplace for the summer or a semester, but most went for a year. And for my friends, some from college and some after that, I have 4 very good friends that about a year and a half ago we went to Barcelona. They all speak 2 to 3 languages. Many of them got masters in international relations. They worked at places like USAID. One of them taught. 2 of them live abroad now and have children. Their husbands and their children speak like 4 languages, because only 22% of Americans speak a second language, but in Europe about 55 to 60% speak at least 2 and most speak 3. My one friend lives in Belgium, and so her children have to speak Flemish and French, plus they're Irish, and then Americans. So the opportunities for your career, if you can speak another language, especially Spanish, is the world will be your oyster, whatever it is you do, from education to law to government to nonprofits. And so you're already on that path. And even if you never study Spanish again after you leave Wilson, you will always have had this experience, which is something that will take with you. And I hope that you spend the rest of your life trying to travel and experience other cultures as well. So thank you so much for coming here tonight.
I just had one last thing to say. This is a great, and a segue off of what Jenny said, this is a great way to kick off Hispanic Heritage Month as well. And you mentioned, speaking Spanish is an incredible skill that you're going to take on for the rest of your life, hopefully. And the United States is the 2nd largest Spanish-speaking country in the world. And it's not even our standard language. So it's a wonderful way to kind of kick off Hispanic Heritage Month in recognizing the heritage and the contributions that the Spanish-speaking world has contributed here to the United States. So we really appreciate you coming and sharing your experience with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Gracias. Okay, now you can leave if you want to. Sorry. All right, just checking, Mr. Maravich, do you have a solicitor's announcement?
I do not.
Okay, thank you. And Mrs. Burkholder, do we have any public participation on agenda items?
No public participation.
Okay, thank you. The board did meet in executive session prior to tonight's meeting to discuss board structure, leadership moving forward. Looking for a motion for the approval of the minutes on the for the school board meeting held on September 2nd, 2025. Looking for a
Schneider, so
motion.
moved.
Mr. Schneider, thank you. Do we have a second?
Denny?
Mrs. Denny, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, this is a voice vote. So all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to committee reports. Start with student outreach. Ms. Heidi Ding.
Last Saturday, Wilson's JROTC cadets honored the heroes of 9/11 by climbing the equivalent of 110 stories, the height of the World Trade Center. Friday, September 5th, was an exciting night for Wilson. Our Gold Out football game supporting Minithon's fight against pediatric cancer filled the stands with gold. Last Friday's game featured Wilson's annual Salute to Service game, where we honored first responders, military members, and veterans for their service as Wilson defeated Reading 49-0. Wilson and Governor Mifflin will be going head-to-head on September 26 for a canned food drive. Wilson High School student government announced this year's homecoming dance will be held on October 11th from 6:30 to 8:30 in the lower house cafeteria. Ticket sales began this morning. In academics, many students in the technology and engineering program gained valuable real-world experience by learning how to change and balance tires using Wilson's brand-new automotive equipment. Next, congratulations to William Frenchick and Heidi Ding for qualifying as semifinalists in the 26th National Merit Scholarship Program. Both earned a perfect score on the PSAT, MSSQT, and will be continuing the competition towards finalist status. Minithon will be having a mod pizza fundraiser where the top 3 schools will receive $1,000 toward their cause on September 26. They will also be hosting their annual Dunkin's Corn Maze fundraiser on October 8th from 5 to 9 p.m., featuring games, food, hay rides, and more. Be sure to go check it out. Finally, last Thursday, many seniors gathered at Gursky Stadium for the annual Senior Sunrise. For the 5th year in a row, the seniors class watched the sunrise together, marking the beginning of a memorable year ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Ding. And just before I pass it on to the operations, I just want to point out, I was not able to attend the football game. However, I believe that the 49 points were scored in the first half. So I just kind of want to give a shout out to Coach Doms and his staff and thank them for not running up the score because if that was what the first half looked like, I imagine that was a possibility. So I just think that shows great leadership and kind of is the way we should be doing things. So I just wanted to give him a shout out and thank him for that leadership. Operations Committee, Mr. Case.
Thank you, President Cocker. So we had a meeting today, September 15th at 4:30 p.m. in the new pre-board room behind us, which was great. So for some construction updates of the Performing Arts Center, there was an update with regard to the timeline from the original timeline has slipped as we've talked a little bit early on. It's been known, but the new schedule has been going well. It looks to be that we will have our first major event mid-April next year for the musical, the spring musical. And the reason being said is when things get all done and constructed, there's going to be, there's some time needed for students and staff to get in and learn the room. There's going to be different things for the AV, lighting, rigging, all that stuff. So you don't want to just get done and be completed and then rush into major events. So just wanted to provide an update, but we are moving forward for the timeline of mid-April for the musicals. Southern Middle School update, you'll start seeing some dirt moving as of today or this week. They're prepping the site. Rebar is going to be dropped off next week, so hopefully we'll start seeing some things coming out of the ground in the near future. Lincoln Park update. There has been a hiccup, a bit of a delay in the municipal agreement between Spring Township and Wilson. Hopefully we get that resolved this week or very soon, which is it's holding up actually getting some excavators in the ground and starting that up. So looking forward to that being resolved. And then lastly, the board during pre-board, we had a little bit of a tour for the old music wing. And kind of what the next steps are in that area. There has been some discussion that we've had already in public with regard to potential uses of that space, and some numbers potentially being, estimates being thrown around. Crabtree and Rohrbach have been doing some designs free of charge to the Wilson tax base for a very small black box and updating the rooms into maintaining 5 classrooms and potentially maybe moving foreign language in that area of the building, and then keeping that other classrooms as well, which space is needed. During our tour, that looks like original woodwork is extremely dated, and it could definitely use some updating. So that would be a welcome, I believe, to Wilson School District. With regard to facilities, there was a conversation with regard to outside use of fields. We have had a couple of groups, that have been using fields pretty heavily, like a soccer field. So when you're using the soccer fields on a daily basis, it turns into a mud pit for when our students and teams actually need to go onto the field for events. So we have policies in place, and we had some momentum to just say, hey, take the policies and let's use the policies as they are. And if there's outside use or outside groups that are going to use the fields, they should be reserving the fields. And this doesn't apply to 5, 10 kids using a basketball court or tennis courts for families. It's for groups that are coming in and heavily using fields, they would need to be reserved. And if everyone doesn't feel that way, please provide feedback, etc. But that was how we're going to go forward with that. And then an update on the high school bleachers and gym floor. We had an update on that, gym floors. So right now, it looks like the bleachers are going to be done between seasons completed. And for the gym floor, there were some issues with colors and coats, etc. So there'll be a new top coat applied this Friday evening, which will be, everything will be done and ready for the volleyball tournament that starts on Saturday. So no worries there. From a transportation perspective, we are in need of school buses to replace, and right now there are some decent deals on the used market. When I say used market, these have 200 miles that these vehicles have only been used to go to, from the OEMs to an upfitter and back. It's not, they just were titled by dealers, so they have to go through a different contract process, but there's a potential to save $20,000 per vehicle, so we will look to have 4 buses to just go out to bid and not necessarily approved to go buy, but we would just be basically agreeing today on getting a bid to see if we can buy them potentially. I think I got that straight. There was a lot of legalese around that, so we'll leave it at that. And then that was pretty much it from the facilities meeting. Oh, and then we did have a tour also of the Performing Arts Center, which looks phenomenal. The new classroom spaces of the choir room, the band room, and the orchestra room are great. Everything has come around. I would imagine all the teachers and students are extremely happy being in those new spaces. There's a couple of things that still need to be corrected that are known. The air conditioning, the HVAC system is not perfect. It's a temporary system that hopefully should get resolved in the next 3 weeks, I believe. And then there's a lot of echo in there where we're still waiting on panels to put up to, and I'm sure a couple of other things. But the spaces look phenomenal. We had a tour also of the actual Performing Arts Center, which has quite a bit of work to do, but the space is great. Wilson's going to love it. Can't wait to see it. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Case. And only clarification, I think the vans, we're going out to get vans, not buses. So 9-passenger vans.
Okay, yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
Small
that's all.
buses or vans.
There's vans, yeah, small buses, okay. But thank you for your report.
I always mess something up. The last
No.
one I had the wings all backwards and stuff, so this is what you get.
We're all human.
Thank
No.
you.
Speaking of Human Resources Committee, Mrs. Casper.
Thank you, President Cocker. The Human Resources Committee met on September 10th. We discussed and reviewed job descriptions as well as some personnel matters. Additionally, we received an update from our previous conversation about adding an additional teacher posting platform, the PAeducator.net platform. Tonight, you'll see a contract with PA Educator as item 6.1 on tonight's agenda, requesting approval to enter into one-year agreement with the web-based applicant platform, which will give us a little more diversity in terms of recruiting educators from around the state. You will also see 4 additional professional hires on the agenda, as well as Lauren Aldridge as a supervisor of special education, replacing Dr. Swib, who was recently appointed as our Director of Special Education. So that is my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Casper. Student Experiences, Mrs. Denny.
Thank you, Mrs. Cocker. So we covered quite a bit in the last Student Experiences meeting, though a lot of it was kind of the culmination of stuff that we had been talking about. Over the summer, there was work done on safety and security in terms of, they had a safety summit in July where all the administrators and first responders serving the district got together. There is a new program that we're using, and they did an EMS drill rollout to work on the bugs. All the teachers have it. They can have it on their phone or they can have it on their computer. And there is an emergency button that they can use, and it tracks everybody in the building, including visitors. So anybody who's been to Tower Health, you have to show your ID, and then they print off the little badge that you wear. This is going to end up doing something like that for visitors, and once they get tracked into the building, they show up on the roster. So if there was an emergency, the administration and the building officials would all know exactly who is in the building. One of the other nice things about it is that it instantly checks to see if the person is not in compliance with Megan's Law or has any kind of those offenses. In terms of special education, Connections at Berkshire Heights has opened. This is an emotional support classroom. There's currently 5 students. It is fully staffed for, I believe, 8 students, but there's 5 there right now. 4 of them are Wilson. We also have 2 additional reserved spots. Just so far, a very positive addition to our program for those. It's for the elementary age kids. The other thing that I did want to point out is we discussed for a while some of the programming that's offered in terms of counseling and mental health through the Cook Center, which is a 3-tier model. The first model is that online there are courses that anybody can access, any parent in the district can access, and they're every single night. Like there's programs that you can access that they do every night. They highlight something else, but I think they also have stuff on file, so you can go on and look at it. And then they have a next tier, which are more specific mental health services. And then the third is they actually do parental coaching, like a one-on-one kind of thing. And we got to see some of the reviews of that, which were incredibly positive. And for these parents, it gives them an opportunity to get support, and that is entirely grant funded. So that is a program that it is on our website, which we're working out the kinks of the website too, so sometimes it can be hard to find stuff, but I believe it's the very first thing under parental resources if you go under there, and then you can link to it. And I guess the last thing is that there was work done this summer to update our club information, and the Club Hub is active, and every single active club at Wilson High School is listed in there. So if you are a student looking to get involved, or you are a parent who thinks your student needs to be involved, go online and look at the Club Hub. So thank you. Our next meeting is in 2 months.
Thank you, Mrs. Denny. Mrs. Troutman, Public Relations.
Well, good evening, everyone. I just wanted to tack on to a little something that you talked about, Mrs. Cocker, about Coach Doms. Actually, after the football game, which was amazing, it was our annual Salute to Service night. It was just a wonderful evening. But at the very end of that game, Coach Doms was honored for his 50th year of coaching by the Wilson Tradition Club, and they presented him with an original piece of art that featured the last name of every student that he ever coached. So it's pretty cool. So there's some pictures of it on social media. You have to kind of like zoom in to see it, but it's pretty neat, pretty impressive. So I also wanted to let our community know that on Wednesday, September 24th, we're going to be hosting a free community viewing of Screenagers, the elementary school edition. It will be happening right here in this boardroom. The evening will begin with pizza and refreshments from 6:30 to 7, followed by the film from 7 to 8, and childcare will be available. The documentary was created by physician and filmmaker Delaney Rustin, and it examines the impact of screen time on children's development. Through insights from psychologists, authors, and brain scientists, the film explores challenges families face around technology use, including social media, video games, and internet addiction, while offering strategies to help children find balance in today's digital world. And obviously, this is an important topic because we already have over 100 people registered for this event. So obviously a very important topic, and certainly very pleased that our district is taking the opportunity to offer that to our community. Also, you probably noticed we have a new Grandview Gallery exhibit. It is called Responding to Nature, Pennsylvania's Landscapes. It's a collection of plein air paintings by the Keystone Outdoor Painters. This group of artists shares a passion for exploring Pennsylvania's diverse landscapes and capturing them through colorful on-site creations. There's going to be, the grand opening did happen already, but there's going to be an open gallery event actually this Wednesday, September 17th from 5 to 7 p.m., providing an opportunity for the entire community to come and look at this amazing collection. In addition, I'm super excited about this. On September 26th, the artists are actually coming to Wilson during the school day, and they're going to be meeting with our art students to share insight about their work and creative process. And this is something that Mr. Graber, who's our high school art teacher, he's going to be working with the gallery to start to be able to bring the artists in, to be able to speak with our art students and any student who might be interested in learning more about the gallery and all of the exhibits that we have. So, thank you.
Great, thank you, Mrs. Troutman. Any other additional board member appointment reports?
I was going to speak on COLA. Do you have any update on the budget? Okay. Yeah, because last I heard, still no budget. So on Tuesday morning, there was a meeting at the BCIU of the Committee on Legislative Affairs, which is attended by most of the Berks County superintendents, and there are also some board members there. And so Dr. Trickett and I went, and the shortest version is there is still no budget, but the hope was that there could be a budget this week, was what they told us last Tuesday. Now, I haven't heard any updates since then. But I just want to very quickly share what was shared with us that kind of talks about the history of the budget in Pennsylvania, which is that this year in February, the governor put forth the budget, which included a $51.4 billion state general fund budget, which is a 6.4% increase over last year. So that was in February. In June, House Bill 1334 came forward with a recommended $50 billion budget. Still a large amount, but about $1.4 billion with a B less than what the governor had recommended. Then there was no action until August when the Senate Bill 160 came out with a $47 billion recommendation, which is the same amount as last year. So a lot of big dollar amounts, but we're talking a big difference of funding. So the governor just approved a new SEPTA plan, which was one of the hang-ups for this, and I'm sure if you've watched the news, you've seen about that. So they're hoping, since the SEPTA plan's been addressed, that they can come together and figure this out. If not, there was a request that the different school districts look at writing a letter to our legislators saying it is impossible for us to serve our communities if we don't have a budget. I spoke at our last meeting here that Wilson is in really great shape compared to a lot of schools, but there are a number of schools that rely very heavily and are having to lay people off or make program cuts because they just don't know what's going to happen. So let's all hope that this week our legislature gets it together and passes some kind of a budget for us, and then we'll know what we have for the future. Two other things that were discussed there that they don't know what's going to come out of it is, and I discussed this previously, is charter school financial reform, trying to have a limit of $10,000 per student per year. Right now, School District A in Berks County may pay $22,000 for a charter school, and a child from School B who goes to the same charter school might pay $15,000. There's no specific amount, and it depends on the district you're coming from. So the idea is that if we can have one set amount of $10,000, that will help all of the schools with their planning. So we don't know the status of that, but that is part of what they are hoping to come through. Did I miss anything, Mr. Schneider?
Mrs. Denny, I really appreciate, and so does your audience, more than you know, your timeline of events for the budget. Can you just say when was it supposed to be passed by? The
June,
budget?
I believe. Right. Yeah. Right. And I think we all know that in most other capacities, it would not be acceptable to be this far past getting your budget done. And in our household, we do a budget every year, and if we don't have a budget, you can't live. So I don't know what they're expecting for school districts like ours, or, yes.
Thank you, Mrs. Denny. Any other board member appointments?
I'll just do a quick Education Foundation.
Sounds
So on October 4th, Saturday, and it's coming soon, their tickets are still on sale now for the Wilson Education Foundation Bash. So I would invite everyone for the community and to come on out and celebrate our distinguished alumni and our teachers that are going to be honored. So for our teachers, Ashley Winter from Whitfield, Christy Viscarella from Wilson West, and also for a distinguished alumni are going to be honored, Dr. Steve Fallon, Professor Emily McLaughlin, and Tricia Zergot. So it's going to be a great celebration, October 4th, and it's going to be at the First Energy Stadium at 6 p.m. All the information is on the Wilson website, so please take a look at that, and that's it for that. So then our first Wilson Education Foundation board meeting is here in this room, Friday, September 19th at 7:30. Actually, it's at the new Wilson Administration Building at 7:30 a.m. Remember that, John? See. And then for this year, board positions will be open in 2026, and please reach out to Molly Mack if interested in becoming a part of the Wilson Education Foundation. Any community member or the Wilson School District staff, everyone is welcome to want to participate if they would like to. That's my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Case. Okay, last check. Any more words? We're good? Okay. Mr. Maravich, do you have a solicitor's report?
I do not.
Okay. Then to the superintendent's report, Dr. Schrickett.
Thank you, President Cocker. The first part of my report today focuses on item 4.1. Just like Dr. Cachufo to raise his hand and be recognized and thanked. Ganji will be leaving us. He's been serving as the Director of Teaching and Learning for over 4 years at Wilson. Has recently been appointed as the next Assistant Superintendent at the Muhlenberg School District. He'll be transitioning early November. We've continued to ensure that the needs within the department are being met at a time of transition. I just thank Ganji for his leadership, his support, and his friendship. He's the person that you can rely on in a variety of different manners, especially anything that involves kids. He loves being with kids, loves supporting teachers. You frequently can see him at night events here in our school district. And I think you know every person that lives in this community. So again, just a huge testament to who you are and how much you care about people. So I wish you the best, Dr. Cachufo, as you transition in your new career path. A couple other changes on here as well in section 4.1 and 4.2. As presented earlier, we have 4 additional professional hires that we're excited to bring onto our team. They're listed under 4.4. Our teammates are not with us tonight under this section. However, we do want to extend a warm welcome to them, and hopefully they can transition here soon, as a couple of these roles are currently being filled by some other teammates, and our kids are looking forward to meeting them. Substitute teachers, again, happy to report we have some retired folks that are coming back to be with our kids. And then rounding out the report is our extracurricular report, Girls in a Run, intramurals, as well as a variety of other personnel matters related to extracurricular.
Thank you, Dr. Schrickett. Looking for a motion to approve superintendent's items 4.1 through 4.6 as presented. Dr. Kennedy, thank you. Do we have a second?
Casper?
Mrs. Casper, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, I'll just say that whoever gets some of the substitutes, the retired substitutes on this list, if the kiddos that have them in their class are very lucky. This is a all-star list of retired substitutes, so very fortunate. They better listen as well, respect the substitutes. Okay, any comments, any other comments for superintendent's report? Okay, hearing none, roll call please.
Mrs. Denny?
Yes.
Mr. Hart? Mrs. Casper?
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mr. McCray?
Yes.
Mr. McCree?
Yes.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker?
Yes.
8 yes, 1 absent.
Sorry, it was a yes. I was frozen.
Oh, that's okay. Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a yes vote?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. 9 yes, 0 no.
Thank you. On to consent items. Looking for a motion to accept with gratitude the following donations. Request to accept a donation from the Hedinger family in the amount of $500. This donation is for the Green Valley Elementary donation account. And looking for to accept the request or accept a donation of food from Redner's for a pregame event for our Salute to Service game. Attendees at the event included first responders and military personnel who were honored during the game. Looking for a motion to accept the donations for 5.1. Mr. McCree, thank you. Do we have a second?
Schneider.
Mr. Schneider, thank you. Any discussion? Mrs. Denny? Oh, yes, Mrs. Denny.
Does Dr. I just wanted to say that I heard at our pre-board meeting that there was another organization that donated pizzas at the last minute to our veterans.
Pepperones.
So if we can give them a shout out too, because that was really kind.
Next
It did,
agenda,
ma'am.
okay.
But a big
Okay.
thank you to Vinny, who hand-delivered the pizzas to the event.
Okay. Dr. Trickett.
I was just going to add on, the Salute to Service game, and for the second year in a row, I do believe this is one of the top 5 events that our school district puts on. It's such a community-focused opportunity to honor so many heroes in our country. So many highlights to share from the night, including our World War II veterans and former students being there to support them. But what really struck me this particular time was the collaboration between the Reading Junior ROTC and our Junior ROTC. And to see the cadets standing in the middle of the field holding the flag that was donated by another community partner for us to use, I think just is a really great visual of how great this county is and how great the people that live here are. So huge thank you to everyone that plans these events and organizes and communicates. Huge thank you to our community and to all the first responders and active and retired military folks who came. It was really a nice tribute and thank you to them. So just proud of this community and proud of everyone that was part of it.
I think, Dr. Trickett, the moment for me was when the World War II vet walked out of the Jeep and held up the flag. It was just unbelievable, like lump in my throat all the time. Yeah.
Thank you. Any other comments for 5.1? Okay, hearing none. This is a voice vote, so all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Human Resources, 6.1. Looking for a motion to approve the contract with paeducator.net as presented, pending solicitor review and approval. 9.2, request approval of the updated job descriptions as presented for virtual teacher facilitator, as well as second grade swim lesson instructor. 6.3, request approval of Lauren Aldridge as supervisor of special education. Looking for a motion to approve human resource items 6.1 through 6.3.
Casper?
Mrs. Casper, thank you. Do we have a second?
Denny?
Mrs. Denny, thank you. Any discussion? Okay. Dr. Trickett?
Just quickly, just want to welcome Lauren, if you could just stand or wave to be recognized. Lauren was added to the agenda over the weekend. We were happy to extend an offer to her late last week. Went through our process to replace Dr. Squibb, as was mentioned. Comes to us with nearly 2 decades of experience in special education from the Chester County area. So just wanted to officially welcome you and tell you congratulations. It's great to have you.
Okay. Any other discussion for human resources? Okay, hearing none. Roll call, please.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes.
Mrs. Denny?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker.
Yes.
9 yes, 0 no.
So officially, welcome Mrs. Aldridge. Yeah. Okay, on to student services. 7.1, request approval of a renewal for a service agreement with Keystone Specialized Therapy Services, LLC, to provide direct individual and group speech therapy services for the 2025-26 school year as presented. 7.2, request to approve a renewal of service agreement with Anthromed Education for the 2025-26 school year to provide a contracted full-time speech and language therapist to support special education services and programs, pending solicitor review and approval. 7.3, request approval of the Pediatric Therapeutic Services Agreement to provide school-based therapy services for the 2025-26 school year, pending solicitor review and approval. 7.4, request permission to renew a contract with Conrad Weiser Decision School for 3 special education students for the 2025-26 school year as presented. 7.5, request to approve the renewal of a contract with the Vista School for 1 special education student for 2025-26 school year, pending solicitor review and approval. 7.6, request approval to renew the memorandum of understanding with Voice Up Berks for the 2025-26 school year as presented. 7.7, request approval of a settlement agreement and release to establish an education fund to be managed by the district as presented. And 7.8, request approval of an agreement with Helping Harvest to renew the Weekender Backpack Program at each of the 5 district elementary schools. Looking for a motion to approve student service items 7.1 through 7.8. Mr. McCree, thank you. Do we have a second?
Casper?
Mrs. Casper, thank you. Any discussion? Okay. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mr. Case,
Yes.
Mrs. Denny,
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker.
Yes.
9 yes, 0 no.
Under operations, which only one item, which is, let everyone just take a moment for that. This is usually the long one. Operations 8.1, request approval of an agreement for a new water line with the Shillington Municipal Authority to serve the new Lincoln Park Elementary School, pending solicitor review and approval. Looking for a motion for 8.1. Dr. Kennedy, thank you. Do we have a second?
Case?
Mr. Case, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Case,
Yes.
Mrs. Denny,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker.
Yes.
9 yes, 0 no.
Under Finance, 9.1, requests to approve the payment of bills as presented. That is a single motion, so looking for a motion for 9.1. Mr. McCree, thank you. Do we have a second?
McCray.
Mr. McCray, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, roll call on 9.1, please.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mr. Case,
Yes.
Mrs. Denny,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker.
Yes.
9 yes, 0 no.
Moving through Finance, 9.3, request to approve the financial reports as attached. 9.4, request permission to submit 4 delinquent accounts to the Berks County Tax Claim Bureau. 9.5, request approval to award the 2025-26 winter-spring athletic bids as noted on the attached list. And 9.6, request approval of the budget transfers dated June 30th, 2025 as attached. Looking for a motion for finance items 9.3 through 9.6.
McCray.
Mr. McCray, thank you. Do we have a second? Mr. McCree, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Roll call, please.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mr. Case,
Yes.
Mrs. Denny,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker.
Yes.
9 yes, 0 no.
Under Teaching and Learning, 10.1, request approval of a contract with Wilson High School and Big Bright Bounce Houses for the rental of inflatable attractions on October 9th, 2025. And 10.2, request to approve the contract for services with the Reading Writing Project Network for elementary professional development. Looking for a motion to approve Teaching and Learning items 10.1 and 10.2. Dr. Kennedy, do we have a second?
Schneider.
Mr. Schneider, thank you. Any discussion? No, you're good?
We were just talking about the merits of bounce houses being in teaching and learning versus student experience. I said it's like recess, and recess helps your brain grow.
Right. And we have had discussions on, it seems like we approve a lot of bounce houses. It's more for, I promise we're not just having kids bouncing all over the place all the time. It's mostly in, like, for our purposes, it's mostly just to make sure that the liability is covered from their end, because that's a big concern. So we're looking at other processes to maybe have something just approved in the beginning of the year, and that just covers the whole year, because it's a good point. It's not necessarily teaching and learning, but I'm sure you could make a science lesson somehow with velocity in their bounce. I don't know. But thank you for that note. Any other discussion for teaching and learning? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. McCree?
Yes.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes.
Mrs. Denny?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Mrs. Casper?
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mr. McCray?
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker?
Yes.
9 yes, 0 no.
Under Transportation, 11.1, request approval to issue a request for bid for 4 used 9-passenger school vans. Looking for a motion for 11.1. Mr. McCree, thank you. Seconded?
Case?
Mr. Case, thank you. Any discussion?
These are the small buses.
Yes, vans, small buses, right. We'll have to change our descriptions.
Vans.
Yeah. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Dr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mr. McCray?
Yes.
Mr. McCree?
Yes.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes.
Mrs. Denny?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Mrs. Casper?
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker?
Yes.
9 yes, 0 no.
Under miscellaneous, our enrollment report as of September 11th, 2025 is 6,340 students, which is a decrease of 132 from the previous report on June 18th, 2025. That is out of the ordinary for our district, as consistently we have had increases almost every enrollment report. And the theory is, so it's not theory, our kindergarten class in general is very small. The theory behind that is that these are the COVID babies, so they're 5. So 5 years ago, not many people were really interested, but people were freaked out. People were freaked out, and things were uncertain. So I'm just saying it's a lower enrollment rate. So
Could you add a little more detail?
Not to get inappropriate.
Could you add a little more detail, Madam President?
I don't know that I could, Mr. Schneider. Thank you. So anyways, our enrollment is down because of kindergarten. Okay. No report, that's all. And Mrs. Burkholder, any public participation on non-agenda items?
No public participation.
Okay, thank you. Any other business from the board? Yes, Dr. Kennedy.
Mr. McCree said that I should note that my students are there. If you guys want to stand and wave, they're all. This is the happiest board meeting we've had in a very long time. Look at their smiling faces, and we got them in and out in an hour.
Just for you guys, so you could get home early, get to sleep for your classes tomorrow. I'm sure the study, all those things. I'm sure that's what's going to happen. But no, thank you for coming to our meeting. I'm glad that you were able to see, a board in action if your future is to be in school. So that's great. And if you have any questions for any board members afterwards, feel free to come on up.
Hopefully, we'll be seeing a couple of their names on a future agenda.
That would be great. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Any other business from the board? Okay. Hearing none. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
Schneider, so moved.
Meeting adjourned.